Hello you. I left Sexton's caravan park this morning. Had an amazing few days there. Feel really rested and recharged. Such a lovely family running that place, and a great place to stay here in West Cork if you're looking for somewhere, that is. So I'm walking toward Timo League. I'm going to grab some breakfast, coffee, something to eat for later on, and then I'm going to continue walking toward Kinsale. Head good, body good, feet good, mind good, all good. Let's go. This is the Franciscan Friary in Timoleague, built in the 12th century, I believe. It's amazing to look at this and to see how much of it is still standing. How they managed to construct this way back then is one question. How the hell it's still standing as it is today is another. It's remarkable that they were able to build something like this. I believe this was initially the site of a monastic site for Saint Malaga back in the 6th century, and Saint Malaga is what Timoleague is actually named after, because this town is actually called Choc Malaga, which means Malaga's house, but Timoleague is the anglicised version of that name. In case you might be asking yourself, how does a magnificent building like this fall into such disrepair? And the reason for that is because in the 17th century, the 1640s, Oliver Cromwell sent over troops to pillage the towns and villages of Ireland, and as part of that ordeal he instructed the troops to burn down the churches, and this here monastic site was one of those places to be burnt down. That is magnificent. My God, I was not expecting that at all. It does feel a bit spooky here. It's called the Holy Trinity Temple Trine, or Temple Trine. How many roads must a man walk down before he is called a man? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind. The answer is blowing in the wind. It says here, Tubranrig on Downick, Sundays well. So this here is Tubber on Downing, which translates in English to Sunday's Well. There's a bronze plaque here with an inscription that I've just read, and I'm going to retell what's on this to you now. So this well has been here for a very long time. It was renovated in recent times to be made available to people that needed to use the well. The plaque is dated 1970. When they were doing renovations on the well, they found inside some very old egg cups, some rosary beads and coins that dated back to 1864. The reason that people in the area came to this well was because the water inside was said to have healing properties, and it was said to, in particular, have healing properties that helped with the eyes. So any donations that go towards the renovations of this here well go to a nearby blind institute, as said on the plaque before me. I'm about to walk up on the site where the Battle of Kinsale took place in 1601. The Battle of Kinsale was a great war between the Irish chieftains, aided by the Spanish, against the British, who were attempting to colonise Ireland, invade, take over the land, control the people, etc. So what happened was the Spanish sent ships and men up to the port of Kinsale to fight with these Irish chieftains. The main chieftains that led on the Irish front were Hugh O'Donnell, Hugh O'Neill. And the thing about it was that when the Spanish arrived in Kinsale, the Irish hadn't arrived. So the main Irish clans that were travelling down to this battle that would take place were travelling down from as far away as Donegal Castle and Dungannon, way up north. And back in them days, it took a long time to travel over bogs and marshes and through forests, etc. to get here. So the British came in, they took out the Spanish gun batteries that they'd already formed there, and they laid siege to the town of Kinsale with the Spanish stuck in the town. And that lasted for 100 days. It was said to have been the longest siege in the history of Europe. And by the time the Irish arrived down then, with their men ready to fight, the Spanish had already been defeated. And then a series of mishaps and bad decisions, or just fate, led to the eventual demise of the Irish clans. So the British won a very bloody battle in Kinsale. The Irish retreated inland to around about Inishannon, and then eventually went back up north. And the British would go on to colonise Ireland for 300 years. Afterward they would have the Ulster plantation, and essentially the Irish earls like O'Donnell and O'Neill eventually left the country. So that was called the Flight of the Earls, and they went to France, in fact, where they were received warmly. They travelled down through Germany, Switzerland, and ended up in Rome, where the cardinals treated these Irish clans as royalty and put them up in the royal palace in Rome. Unfortunately, a few years later, all of the men would die. The very last of the men to die, 99 in total, was Hugh O'Neill, believe it or not. And the sad thing about all of this is that this was the end of the old ways, the end of the Gaelic ways. And in fact, Mountjoy, who was the head of the British Army at the time, I believe, smashed up Hugh O'Neill's King's Chair, a stone King's Chair, as a symbol of the destruction of the Gaelic ways and the old Gaelic people that were inhabiting the land. White House. The campsite I planned on staying at when I arrived to the place outside Kinsale, the owner asked if I could wait until 6 o'clock to check in, and it was only 4 o'clock at the time. It wasn't his fault, of course. So I was thinking to myself, well, what am I going to do just sitting on a back road like this, basically, for 2 hours. And what could I do instead? And I was thinking to myself, I know that it would take me about 2 hours to walk 10 kilometers, so I could be 10 kilometers further by 6 o'clock. Maybe I should just do that instead. So, look, this is a very long way of explaining that I decided to keep walking, and that's what I'm doing now. I can't believe this is still the same day. I feel like I've seen so much today. When I think back to the Abbey this morning, that felt like yesterday. Maybe even 2 days ago. Look at all the swallows on the road here. They're doing a wonderful job. 10 out of 10. I didn't think I'd be seeing Cork Airport when I woke up this morning. Hello you. Yesterday I walked all the way to Cork. This is Cork Airport. It was raining when I arrived here. Well, actually it was raining all day, but as you can see, lots of fences, security cameras and all that kind of thing around here. So when I arrived here in the rain and saw all of this, I started to look for hotels in the area, and I ended up staying in the airport hotel, which wasn't cheap, but my God, did I make use of it, because I had the most solid sleep in there you could possibly imagine. And I don't regret paying the money, to be honest, because it was a gorgeous hotel. So I'm going to go into the city now. I can't believe I'm here already. Going into the city. Head good, body good, feet good, mind good, all good. Let's go.